So home prices are finally cooling. Nearly 17% of sellers are slashing prices as more homes linger in the market. Hold on real quick. 17% does not equate to slashing for me because typically we see 30 to 35% of listings have a home price reduction. So when they talk about a home price reduction, they don't use the word slash, number one. Number two, they don't use the word slash synonymous with 17%. So this is just a little bit more than half of what is normal, but they're saying slashing prices. So a little bit of hair on fire title here from Realtor.com. Thank you.
Play on words.
Thank you, Realtor.com. The standout for me, guys, was 45 of the nation's 50 largest metros saw the number of homes with price cuts increase since February 2024. Not really surprised, but again, it's kind of par for the course for me.
Yeah. You know, and you're going to see it during these times. It is a cooling down. People are just getting done with, you know, some people are still actually even opening Christmas presents, you know? So some people are just kind of like, hey, let me open this thing. Let me just pay off some of that debt. So I think right now during these times, historically, we've seen that these are the slower times. We'll start seeing an uptick like in the real estate market. Mid-March is the tendency.
So you're saying those Christmas presents are soon to be St. Patrick's Day gifts.
That's it. the re-gift.
Rewrap it in green paper. Yeah. Oh, it's in green paper for Christmas.
And I feel like in addition to what Will was saying is that, you know, I feel the demand is there, but people are now more, you know, not desperate to go into a house because they do see, like you mentioned, more inventory coming out every week. You know, more houses are coming out, and that gives them the, you know, the positivity that they could be like, hey, well, I don't have to necessarily, you know, feel like I have to buy right now. Let's get into the market, take it time by time. Yes, we want to buy, but we're also not desperate to jump into something.
We actually are seeing most of our buyers, they're presenting other offers. They're not just, before it would just be hyper focused on that one property. Now they're saying like, let me just put up multiple offers, see which one's going to be more attractive, you know, to the seller and which one I'm going to get accepted in. And a lot of times we're going to just see that they cancel those escrows just to get into the other one. Or a lot of times they get in there, let me see what I can still gain as far as repairs from the seller. Yeah, and if certain things don't get repaired, they're like, well, wait a minute, I have another option over here. And that's what we're seeing a lot of. And that's due to there being a rise in inventory. As a matter of fact, I did the research here in San Diego, and we've increased between 20 to 22% of more inventory. That's a good thing for a buyer right now.
Yeah, I feel like buyers are now getting a lot more creative, a lot more smarter with the way they're presenting their offers because of the fact that they know there's multiple properties coming out, so they're going to have a lot more opportunities to get the offer that benefits them the most. And I think, you know, before putting all your eggs in one basket, there wasn't that much inventory, so it's like, I really want this one. There's not much else to choose from, so I have to put all my eggs in one basket and I hope to get to
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, it's right now it's advantageous for the buyer to actually even request for seller concessions, you know, for closing costs to be paid. We're starting to see more 2-1, 3-1 buy downs. We just got an offer accepted with $34,000 in credits.
That's amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
That's
right?
crazy. That's a lot of money.
That's just telling you that the seller's willing, like, I got to move. I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
That just like it blows my mind because if they're giving out $34,000, what are they still profiting on that to be able to be like, I could give $34K? That's cool.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, a lot of these people purchased, most of them 2017, 18, 20, and we saw a huge uptick from the pandemic to 2025. In some areas, we saw a 44-50% increase in equity. Yeah. So that's quite a bit, especially when at that point in time, I want to say the median sales price of a home was in the 7 and change. You know, do another 30-40% on that. That's quite a bit of equity built.
Yeah. And I think, and again, this comes down to that whole like personal thing we talk about all the time. It's like some people's situations are different, their timings are different, their needs are different. And so when push comes to shove, and not only literally, but like sometimes when you know it comes down to making the deal or not, you're going to make it or not. And it's just as simple as that. Sometimes the speed and the timing is it, and sometimes it's the numbers. I am going to flash a couple quick graphs up here, guys, only for the example of looking at the trends and how they're similar. There's nothing outlier in these last 5, 6, 7 years of data that they're using here for price reduction share, or even the next one, which talks about the days on market. It's all within trend. So we're not seeing anything, even with the pandemic, even coming out of that, even with the change of administration. You still see things mostly going in the same direction they would be in the seasonality of the month-by-month tracking that you see here. So to me, it is kind of like it's par for the course. Yeah. Even though I'm saying at the offset of the show, like, oh, this is a totally weird market. It's like it is, but it isn't. It's weird in that so many things have changed that I think these would have looked dramatically different, but they don't. Yeah. So the fact that they're the same is actually the outlier observation for me.
I feel that like towards the end of the year, how the market slows down, and the people that put their houses up at the end of the year and then go into their house not in contract into the new year, now they're like, yo, it's maybe a month, 2 months, maybe even that 90-day mark where they're like, yo, I got to get rid of this property. I thought I was going to get done with it, months back, weeks back, and now it makes sense why they're bringing down prices because they have to move their inventory, they have to get rid of the property and make it enticing for the buyers to
and still, the market time, what they're saying here, 62 days, 11 days longer than the previous year. That's still not too bad.
It is.
It's not bad. That's not much of a statistical outlier. And what's I'm glad you brought that up because I made a note for here is that one of the 4 regions actually had the time on market below the pre-pandemic level, faster.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, wait a minute, that was already like a breakneck pace during that time. And then there's 4 regions that are even reporting faster. That's a lot of demand in that area, which means that on the buyer side, there's still people trying to hustle down homes.
Yeah.